Okay, let's talk about how to install Ubuntu server to a virtual machine. So I have my Oracle VM VirtualBox opened. I'm going to click on, oops, not settings. I need to click on new. I'm going to type in Ubuntu server. We want to make sure the type is Linux and the version is Ubuntu 64-bit. This is really important, 64-bit. I hit next. The RAM that we want to give it is, let's see, 1024 times 4. 4096. So type in over here 4096. Okay. Hit next. Create a virtual hard disk now. That's right. Hit create. VDI. That's right. Hit next. Dynamically allocated. Good. Hit next. Hit create. Okay. Now that we have Ubuntu server right here, I'm going to double click on this. We need to select in here the Ubuntu. We need to click on the little folder with the up arrow. We go to the computer. We need to go to the share drive, Main West, Students, AAT, Linux, and then you need to find Ubuntu server amd64.iso. This is so when we select this ISO file and hit start, it's like we're taking a CD-ROM and putting it into this virtual computer that we just created. I'm going to hit enter for English, and then I want to hit enter again to install Ubuntu server. So an ISO file is just a virtual CD. Hopefully this works right there. Okay, good deal. Now I want to go English again. United States. Detect keyboard layout. We want to move this over to yes, so I use the arrow key and hit yes. And then press like, it says Y, W. There's not a key labeled that, not a key labeled that. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Just basically hit no. And then it appears to be US, which is correct, so that's good. So I hit enter to continue, because we have a US keyboard. Okay, now it's loading some additional components. After it's done loading the additional components, now it's going to go back into this detecting hardware thing again. Then it's going to be waiting, trying to get an IPv6 address. So for this whole time, we don't want to push the keyboard. We don't want to be surfing the internet. Just kind of want it to be sitting here. Now your host name needs to be unique for everybody in the classroom. So what I want you to do for host name is you can do Ubuntu TAC and then do your last name. So I'm doing Reichelt because that's my last name, but you want to use your last name. I don't think anyone in here has the same last name, but if two people have the same last name, you should choose different host names. And then I hit the down arrow, and then I hit enter to continue. Then we want to come up with a username, so go ahead and type in a username, one that you're going to be able to remember. Again, a username for the account. Now here's the password. This is really important. If you forget the password that you type in right here, you are going to just have to reinstall. So it's really, really, really important that you remember this password. This password also has to be complex, which means you have to use uppercase letters, lowercase letters, and numbers. And I always use a symbol too. So anyway, you have to make it a complex password. Type it in. We do not want to encrypt the home directory, so we can be unknown. It says America, Chicago. That is the correct time zone, so we hit enter for right here for yes. Okay, so far so good. We want to use guided, use the entire disk. So this is up right there. Hit enter. And hit write changes to disk. The default is no. We need to move this over to yes. Hit enter one more time. Alright, and once this dialog box pops up, we just want to hit the down arrow and hit enter. So we want to leave this one blank. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video for a second here while this works. Alright, once you're on this one, we want to make sure that no automatic updates are selected. If you do select automatic updates, it's just going to take forever for your thing to update. So no automatic updates, and then you hit enter. We don't want to install any of these, so don't worry about any of them. You just hit tab, make sure none of them are selected, and then hit enter. Okay, record. So now I want to here, yes, we want to install the Grub bootloader, so we hit enter for yes. And it continues to install. I'm going to go ahead and, okay, so now it says we need to remove the installation media. So what we do is we go to devices, optical, and it's actually already removed from us, so that's perfect. You just want to make sure that you can't click on this remove disk from virtual drives, so make sure that you can't click that. I can't click it. So we're good, and then we hit enter to continue. Alright, now my system is rebooting. Loading up. Into Ubuntu. Okay, so now we want to type in the username and password that we previously typed in when we created this. So my username is greichelt. You guys hopefully type something else in. And then my password is, I type in my password and it works. And remember, when you type in your password, it doesn't move. So I'll like log out and I'll re-log in. So I type in my username, and then whatever I'm typing here, I'm typing right now, but you notice this cursor doesn't move at all. That's because Linux administrators are very protective of their passwords. They don't want to even have stars because somebody looking over your shoulder might be able to tell how long your password is. Okay, so now that I have logged in, I want to update. So it says right there, a bunch of packages can be updated, and then there's also a bunch of security things. So what I need to do is I'm going to type in sudo. Okay, the word sudo, it means run as administrator, so I'm going to run this command as an administrator. And then I'm going to type in apt-get. So apt-get is the name of a program that's used to download and install software. Also, I can update software. I can do a bunch of things with apt-get. So sudo, I'm going to run this program as an administrator. Apt-get, that's the name of the program. And then I'm going to write an update. And then I need to type in my password because I'm running this command as an administrator. And what this is going to do is this is going to go through and update the apt-get software. So sudo apt-get update goes ahead and updates that software for me. Alright, so I'm not quite done. Now I'm going to type in sudo shutdown. Oh no, it's not sudo shutdown, it's sudo I want to shut down the system. So sudo shut down, and then I actually have to do like tech h now. So it's basically saying, when do you want to shut down the machine? I want to shut it down now. If you need help on a command, by the way, you can type in, like I could type in shutdown tech help, and I can get different help on it. I can also type in man. That'll give me the manual for the command shutdown. And then we can just hit enter. So you notice right there it says synopsis shutdown option time. And then if I hit enter, I can see like all the different things. The manual. If I hit Q, I can quit out of the manual. So if you're ever having problems with a command, like apt-get, we can type in man. Man will give us the manual for the particular command. or program, and then we can type in like the manual for Apt-Get. We hit enter, and then I can just like scroll down using the arrow keys, up, down. So you notice Apt-Get updates used to resynchronize, Apt-Get upgrade upgrades to the newest version of all packages, Apt-Get install. So, and then if I want to quit out of this, I just hit Q. Oh, that's right. So we want to type in sudo apt-get upgrade, because I don't think we upgraded this either. Okay, and look at all these things that we need to upgrade. So it says, do you want to continue? Y, hit enter, and now it's going to go ahead and update everything. That's right. So you go sudo apt-get update, and that updates the list, and then sudo apt-get upgrade, and upgrade will actually list the upgrade the software. So now this might take a second. I'm at like 39%. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video, and as soon as it's done, I'll tell you what to do next. So I'm still upgrading all my stuff. It's going to take you a little bit of time when you're upgrading. Oh, one quick thing to note, if you're ever like in the middle of upgrading or doing something, the bell rings, you can pause where you're at by coming up here, clicking on the X, and then saving the machine state, and then clicking OK. So when we save the machine state, it saves exactly what's going on, and then to resume, you just double click on this. So let's say the bell ring, you could save the machine state and then log out, and then you notice when we can't come back, you'd log back in, double click on your machine, and it'll resume right where it left off. So that's a great feature. Some students like don't save the machine state, they just click on that and they power it off. If you click on this and you hit power off, you may damage your machine, and then it won't be able to boot successfully the next time you come in. So you can save the machine state this way. If you want to boot off your machine, you want to type in sudo shutdown tach now, and this should shut down the machine. Okay, now that I've shut this down, I'm going to go to settings. We're going to go to display. I want to increase the video memory all the way up to 128 megabytes. Click OK. I also want to click on snapshots here, and I'm going to click on take a snapshot, and we're going to call it right after install, and then click OK. So the reason we created this snapshot is, let's say we come in here and I turn on my server, and I install some things, or I mess with this. I'll go ahead and boot my server back up here. Just give it a second. Let me log in. Then I'll type in my password. Okay. Now let's type in like sudo apt-get install Chrome. There probably isn't a package called Chrome. We'll do gedit, I think. Okay, and then now it's installing, and then I'm like, oh no, I didn't want to install gedit. That's bad. That's not what I want to do install at all. So what you can do is we can restore a machine back to where you were. So we can just go ahead, and what I can do is I can click on power off, and then I can check this box right here, restore current snapshot right after install, and then I click OK. And what will happen is what I just did, that sudo apt-get install gedit, all that is gone away now, and now when I double click on my machine, it's back to the point right after I shut it down. So now it's going to boot up and it's going to work like nothing happened. So if you happen to mess up your virtual machine, you can always reset it by just clicking on this X and restoring it. Now if you click on that X and hit restore, it's going to erase everything that you've done. So if you did do some stuff that was good and then you want to save it, you can save the machine state right there and then click OK. Don't restore the snapshot, because when you restore the snapshot, it goes back and it undoes everything that you've done. Okay, so hopefully that is helpful. Let me know if you have any questions.